What if I told you the single best predictor of success isn't intelligence, isn't talent, and isn't even hard work? It's something far stranger. Over 400 years ago, an Asian philosopher made a shocking claim. If you can chew vegetable roots, there is nothing in the world you cannot accomplish. Vegetable roots? Why would anyone compare greatness to chewing something bitter? It sounds almost ridiculous. But here's the unsettling part. Modern psychology, neuroscience, and decades of success research keep arriving at the exact same conclusion. Because this ancient sentence isn't about food. It's about the one ability that quietly separates people who merely dream from those who actually transform their lives. So before this video ends, ask yourself one question. Are you someone who can only enjoy the reward, or someone who can survive the process? Most people think ChaeGeunDam is simply a collection of wise sayings, but they overlook the most important lesson. It's hidden in the title itself. ChaeGeunDam, written as ChaeGeunDam, literally, talks about vegetable roots, not flowers, not fruit, not a feast. Roots. Tough, fibrous, bitter. The kind of food poor families once ate simply to survive. So why would Hongzhi, the Ming Dynasty philosopher who wrote this timeless classic, choose something so humble as the symbol of a meaningful life? Because he wasn't talking about poverty. He wasn't glorifying suffering. He was revealing something far deeper. He believed that the ability to endure discomfort determines the direction of your entire life. That single idea became the heart of the book, and perhaps the secret behind every meaningful achievement. Think about the world we live in. Hungry? Tap a screen. Entertainment? Infinite. Answers? Instant. We've eliminated almost every inconvenience from daily life. Yet somehow, people feel more anxious, more impatient, and more dissatisfied than ever. The problem isn't that life is difficult. The problem is that comfort has become our default setting. The moment something feels slow, we quit. The moment progress becomes invisible, we panic. The moment nobody applauds us, we begin doubting ourselves. 400 years ago, ChaeGeunDam warned us about exactly this. The more addicted we become to comfort, the weaker our ability to face reality becomes. And without realizing it, comfort quietly begins controlling us. One of the most famous experiments in psychology involved a simple choice. A child could eat one marshmallow immediately, or wait, and receive two. Some couldn't resist. Others waited. Years later, researchers discovered something remarkable. The children who delayed gratification often developed greater self-control, performed better academically, built stronger relationships, and handled life's setbacks more effectively. The lesson wasn't really about marshmallows. It was about mastering the uncomfortable space between desire and reward. Centuries before psychology had laboratories, ChaeGeunDam had already arrived at the same truth. Success isn't simply about talent. It's about how long you're willing to remain uncomfortable without giving up. Here's where many people get it wrong. Endurance doesn't mean forcing yourself to suffer. It doesn't mean pretending pain doesn't exist. Real endurance has nothing to do with stubbornness. It comes from meaning, because when suffering has purpose, human beings become astonishingly resilient. Parents stay awake all night, not because it's easy, but because someone they love needs them. Athletes repeat the same movement thousands of times. Artists fail hundreds of times before creating something unforgettable. Not because pain disappears, because purpose makes pain bearable. The vegetable roots in ChaeGeunDam were never about food. They were a symbol of meaningful discomfort. Today's culture constantly whispers the same promise. Faster, easier, more comfortable. But the things that truly change a life almost never feel comfortable. Reading instead of scrolling. Working out instead of procrastinating, apologizing, forgiving, building discipline, starting over. None of these feel good in the moment. That's why they're so valuable. Easy choices usually make today feel better, while making tomorrow harder. Difficult choices often make today uncomfortable, while making tomorrow easier. That's the paradox hidden inside ChaeGeunDam. The bitter root is often the beginning of the sweetest future. Right now, What bitter root are you chewing? Maybe it's waking up before sunrise. Maybe it's supporting your family. Maybe it's learning a new language. Maybe it's building a business nobody believes in. Maybe it's living far from home, wondering if your sacrifices will ever matter. Some people fight battles that no one else can see. No applause. No recognition. Just another ordinary day. To those people, ChaeGeunDam offers a quiet reminder. The bitterness you're experiencing today isn't destroying you. It's shaping you into someone who can carry greater things tomorrow. In the end, ChaeGeunDam was never a book about food. It was always a book about becoming. Life doesn't reward the people who only chase sweet fruit. It rewards those who first learn to chew bitter roots. So if today felt exhausting, if progress seemed invisible, if nobody noticed your effort, perhaps nothing is actually going wrong. Perhaps this is the very part of the story that changes who you become. And maybe that's why this 400-year-old sentence refuses to disappear. Because every generation eventually discovers the same truth. The future you want is hidden inside the discomfort you're trying to escape today. So before you leave, ask yourself the same question we began with. What is the vegetable root that you've been refusing to chew? Because your answer may already determine the life you'll have tomorrow.